Hey guys, welcome back to the spring semester for IPC. I just wanted to show you a little bit of things that are different just about the homepage and how attendance is going to go because they're changing attendance for us in person. So first thing is I changed the Zoom button to up here. Again, it's 1:30. You have to let me know if you're coming in advance. You just click it and that goes the link. And then, so your attendance check-in is here. And once you click your attendance check-in, it's going to take you to a module. And you will see more than you'll actually see here. But each day you'll do the attendance for that day. Okay, so to be counted present, you will be directed to this module and it will go to a question just like it always has, a little survey, and you answer it. Okay, so I'll delete these as they go just so that you won't have to look at a bunch of them, but you will not be able to go back and do it a day late. It will shut out. So the only thing that's changed is that when it links it to an actual module instead of going straight to the quiz. So you're going to have to click on the quiz yourself. It'll just link to the module. Okay, and then nothing has changed from here. Make sure you are looking at the week at glance and following it directly, and then always I put in the module 2 the days of the week. So if you just go here, you're not seeing everything you need to fill out in your digital notebook. Okay, so for spring semester we have unit 7 and 8 physics digital interactive notebook. It has the fire up here at the top. I kind of did that. Remember, these are test grades. You need to go with the notes daily, just as I would teach you in person. I expect you to do the notes the day of the notes. I don't want you to do your assignments and then go back and do your notes. That's silly. You're not learning the material. You're just chasing the grade. Okay, so first things first today, you need to open up this digital notebook, and there are some things that we need to change from it. So it should pull up unit 7 and 8 physics and digital notebook. I want you to, and it doesn't look like I actually put text boxes here, but change your name and then put remote student underneath, and then there's all these cute little stickers that you can drag and put on your cover. Of course, I don't care if you change the cover or anything, just make sure it says your first and your last name and that you're a remote student. Okay, I always like to, after that, I always love to bookmark them. So just push the star and bookmark it, and that way it'll come up at the top. Mine's right here at the top. All right, on the second slide is just your reference materials. These are all the formulas that you're gonna need for this unit. This unit uses a lot more math than we've been using, but of course you should always get the formulas, okay? I just can't tell you how to convert them, but you will get the formulas on the STAR test and such. All right, so what we're starting with is speed, and there's a lot of things that you've actually already learned, whether you remember them or not. You were supposed to have learned them. So this is just a page of what you should already know. So from 6th grade, you should have learned how to calculate speed, and the formula for speed, and to measure and graph changes in motion. So you did do speed equals distance divided by time, and you should have seen graphs like this before in 6th grade, but I know that was quite a time ago. In 7th grade, you learned how to calculate and determine the slope of a line, and definitely being in algebra right now, y'all, you should know how to calculate the slope of a line. And you should have learned to calculate the length of the hypotenuse using the Pythagorean theorem. We will use the Pythagorean theorem in this class. Again, you're in algebra, so you should probably know. All right, speed versus velocity. There is a difference in the two. It is not much, but there is a distinct difference between the two. Okay, so before we start talking about speed and velocity, let's talk about motion. Motion is a change in position. Okay, to describe the motion, you need to measure the distance and the time. So motion could be how fast or how slow something might be moving. So motion is a change in position. Okay, you're changing your position from one to another. Okay, to describe it, you need to measure distance and time. Okay, distance would be something like kilometers, meters, miles, all of those are distances. A measurement of time would be something like hours or minutes. We usually use hours though. Okay, speed is just the distance traveled in a certain amount of time. So I went this far in this much amount of time. So is the amount of distance traveled in a certain amount of time. So something like if I was, going out of town or something, I traveled, let's say 300 miles in 6 hours. Okay, that would be a speed. How fast I went driving there would be my speed. So something like, an example could be something like 50 miles per hour or 60 miles per hour or 70 kilometers per hour. It's your distance divided by your time. It's how fast or slow you're going. So an example, let's just put one down, is 50 miles per hour. Okay, and then there's the triangle. These triangles are super important for being able to calculate because you're not always going to calculate for speed. Okay, speed is distance divided by time. If you're looking for time, it's distance divided by speed. And if you're looking for distance, it's time times speed. Okay, and remember, speed is just how fast something is moving, and it's always positive. Your velocity is just a little bit different. It's speed with direction. So maybe now let's change our example of 50 miles per hour to 50 miles per hour north. Okay, it's your speed, which is 50 miles per hour, and then a direction, which is north. Okay, it's how fast and which way something is traveling. Okay, the rules on this, guys, is use logic first. How long would you travel in an hour? You're not going to travel 600 miles in 1 hour. So if you're getting crazy answers like that, think again, okay? The second rule is use math or science to calculate. So calculate this right here, use these, and then watch their units, no naked numbers, okay? What that means is don't give me 50 as an answer. If it's a speed and that's the answer, you give me 50 miles per hour. The units are super important and you will have to be able to differentiate between them. Okay, now that we go over to this right-hand side, it has speed and velocity. So speed is 1.4 meters per second, while the velocity, you could change that and make it 1.4 meters per second west. Those are just some examples. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the words to the right, okay, right here, to identify the statements below as speed or velocity. Okay, so I want you to take some time and I want you to copy down which ones are speed and which ones are velocity. I'm going to do the first two with you. So the geese fly 23 miles per hour to the south when they migrate for winter. So I have 23 miles per hour and I have south. So that is going to be my velocity. So I'm going to drag over my velocity and put it there. Okay, a snail can crawl 2 meters in 2 hours. 2 meters is a distance, 2 hours is a time. So remember, speed is just distance divided by time. So that is my speed. I'm going to drag that one over there. Okay, now I need you to do the rest. And by doing that, you just need to copy and paste these to the ones that are speed and copy and paste the velocity ones to the ones that are velocity. Okay, check your answers with my answers. Where I put speed, that is a speed. And where I put velocity, it should be a velocity. Always to check yourself, make sure that your velocity has a direction. One that might have been confusing was the airplane, it says airplane, traveled west towards China at 500 kilometers per hour. Even if it said airplane traveled 500 kilometers towards China, that's still giving you the direction that it would be going. Okay, on slide 5, it's just some calculating speed reminders. It's talking about your formulas, just like I was saying. Speed is distance divided by time. Okay, when you put in the triangle, d is over t, so you divide. When you're solving for time, you're doing distance divided by speed. And when you're trying to solve for distance, it's speed times time. Okay, remember, I can give you this right here on the test, but I cannot give you the triangles. Those are the ones that you need to know. So just look at one example over here. Mia cycles for 3 hours at a speed of 40 kilometers. So you put 3 where the time goes and 40 where the speed goes. Those are next to each other, so you're going to multiply and get 120. Okay, do not leave that naked though. It needs to be in a distance. So it's 120 kilometers. Okay, moving on to slide 6. These are going to be you calculating your speed. You're going to either write the formula or draw the formula triangle and plug in the numbers given. So I want you to use your calculator. So if a car travels 400 meters in 20 seconds, how fast is it going? So I'm looking for speed because it asked me how fast I'm going. So distance is 400 meters. My time is 20 seconds. Okay, I'm looking for speed, so I do distance divided by time, and I'm actually going to pull over a triangle if I can and have it up here so we can see it at the same time. Okay, so in the triangle you can see 400 should go up the top and 20 should go at the bottom, so you're doing 400 divided by 20. And you should get 20, okay, but it's not just 20, it's going to be 20 meters per second because it's your distance divided by your time. Okay, how far will your little brother get if he can travel 2.5 meters per second for 5 seconds? So I know 5 seconds is a time. And 2.5 meters per second is going to be my speed. So I am looking for a distance. When I'm looking for a distance, I'm going to multiply my t times my s. So I'm going to take 2.5 and multiply it by 5. And I am going to get 12.5. Okay, but not just 12.5, I need my distance, and my distance used in my measurement of speed was meters, so it's going to be meters. Okay, next one, how much time will it take? So I'm looking for time for a bug to travel 5 meters across the floor if he's traveling at 1 meter per second. So he's traveling at 1 meter per second, that's his speed. He has traveled 5 meters, or he's going to, so I'm looking for the time. So I take my distance and divide it by my speed. My distance is 5 and my speed is 1, so my time is going to be 5, okay? But not just 5, it's going to be 5 seconds because that's what was used in the speed. Okay, the rest you need to do on your own, but they should be filled out in your notes.